Big yawn right as we hit the button. Good job.
So true. Hi, everybody. This was the other thing we've known since episode 1 that we couldn't talk about.
Oh my god.
No more absolutely batshit surprises, I think. For the rest, like, everything has pretty much been revealed at this point.
Oh my god, fine. I know last time we spent the entire time yelling, finally we can talk about Adana. I am feeling similarly. Finally we can talk about Sid.
So true.
Much more derogatory.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've heard from the Hierophant.
Yeah, sure has.
We're gonna hear from him. We sure are.
Shitty little boy.
He is a shitty little
He's
boy.
A shitty little boy. Okay. Opening up, talking points. Still doing a giveaway on our Twitter. 300 followers. Giving away the keychains. Cool. And now.
The playlist.
Oh, the playlist.
This is another finally we could talk about Adana week too. This week we actually got to talk about Adana.
Yes.
Opening track was Good Grief by Dessa. This was a Leo song for that scene where he realized that his mom was alive. Good grief. I've heard people say it. What a phrase, what a state to be in, but I don't know where they go to get that feeling. Good grief, and my knees stay clean, not much for praying. I do my own stunts and my own saving, but there's something amiss, something I've been missing. Maybe there's good grief, but how can you tell it from the bad? Maybe it's only in the fact good grief's the one that's in your past.
Oh, Good Grief is a song.
Yeah, Good Grief is a song. That was kind of
enough. Well, fuck.
Usually it is. Yeah. That was just kind of that mood setter for Leo having his little freak out that he had, justifiably. I mean,
yeah. Oh, yeah. He was right, but
there's something about the fact that if we landed everything the way we wanted it to land, that the words Count Feathersby will make people like cry on command now, that I think is really great. Welcome to our show. You're gonna cry over a stuffed owl bear.
God, very exciting. Very exciting.
The next two songs were Adana songs. The first one was Angel on Fire by Halsey. This was also on the Adana, but it's all Halsey playlist. You sleepy, buddy?
A little bit. It's all good. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be quiet about it.
I used to be a darling starlet, like a centerpiece, had the whole world wrapped around my ring. I flew too closely to the sun that's setting in the east, and now I'm melting from my wings. Because I'd laugh and drink and talk about things and fall in love in my backyard. Now it's my own anxiety that makes the conversation hard. Because nobody seems to ask about me anymore. Nobody ever cares about anything I think. And nobody seems to recognize me in the crowd in the background screaming, everybody look at me. Yikes. I'm standing in the ashes of who I used to be. Oh, Adana.
Oh, Adana. Many thoughts about Adana. Just, oh my God. I love her a lot.
Yeah. You deserved better, Queen.
Yeah.
And then it was She Used to Be Mine by Sarah Bareilles. And it's just, I don't know how to not read the whole song. Like, my God. It's not what I asked for. Sometimes life just slips in through a back door and carves out a person and makes you believe it's all true. And now I've got you, and you're not what I asked for. If I'm honest, I know I would give it all back for a chance to start over and rewriting an ending or two for the girl that I knew, who'll be reckless just enough, who'll get hurt, but who learns how to toughen up when she's bruised and gets used by a man who can't love. And then she'll get stuck and be scared of the life that's inside her, growing stronger each day till it finally reminds her to fight just a little, to bring back the fire in her eyes that's been gone but used to be mine. Like... It's the whole song. It's the entirety of She Used to Be Mine. But like,
somebody in the chat said, "I'm literally obsessed with Adana. Like, on one hand, I adore how she's here, but also, Queen, you're in for a whole new world of pain." I mean, not a new one.
Not a new one.
Not a new one for Adana.
And not one that she didn't at least partially see coming.
Oh goodness. And then the next song was
Al did this to me, so I'll let them explain it.
So I was trying to think of a song about Leo's mental state towards the end of the episode, with the ghost pit and with the whole Soren thing. So naturally, I thought of like "A River Runs" by the Bleachers.
You're fucking evil, is what you are.
I'm normal. The opening verse is, "I woke up thinking you were still here, my hands shaking with regret. I've held this dream for such a long, long time, and I want to get up."
I
And
I feel.
ooh,
I feel.
and then from one of the choruses, "When I fall asleep, I can see your face. What I lost in you, I will not replace. And I could run away, I could let them down, but I will remember your light. Your light follows me in darkness. I'm trying hard, but I can't win. And I've played the victim for a long, long time. And I want to grow up from the rhythm of a younger heart. It leads just like a river runs."
Just kill me. Just kill me.
Yeah.
Oh God, in the
God.
outro. And
Yeah.
if you see me in the darkness, I hope you know I'm not alone. I carry you with every breath I take, and I won't let up. I won't let up until the wind is gone.
We feel extremely normal right now. Are you good?
No.
Oh. Apparently our audio is glitching a little bit. Are we good? Allow.
Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Let me make sure there's nothing wrong with the mic settings. Oh, I think it's buzzing because.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we just need to be careful not to rattle it. I think the buzzing is the mic getting rattled.
Right. Yeah. The boom arm on our microphone is here. Let me see if I can. Nope, I can't do that.
No, yeah, that's why I had to do it like that. So, is it better?
Are we good? Oops.
Our recording setup is held together with duct tape and bubble gum.
Oh goodness. Here, try not to shake the desk.
And then this one was also you.
Exegetic
Chains by the
by
Mountain
Mountain
Goats. I am the very model of a modern major general. Okay.
Yep. This one was a vibe for Luke Segalin in the light of everything that Fee and Leo know, and kind of like going into the end game of they're gonna take down the island, they're gonna cut the shit off at the root. Sorry. Oh, this fucking song. Say your prayers to whomever you call out to in the night. Keep the chains tight. Make it through this year if it kills you outright. Change will come. Stay warm inside the ripple of the Panasonic. Come. It grinds and it roars. Headed somewhere better if I have to crawl there on all fours. Yeah. It was a vibe. I enjoyed putting it on there.
Oh boy.
And then our ending track for the playlist for this week was a Sabine song in relation to that last scene. We ended this week's playlist with "I Should Live in Salt" by The National. And this was a Sabine song in relation to everything that happened with her family, but largely Sid.
Do you see me staring into the camera right now? The Kubrick stare is a filmmaking device used to show characters at the height of their derangement.
Stop it, I'm trying to come to the lyrics. Yeah. You're not that much like me. You should know me better than that. We have different enemies, but you should know me better than that. I should leave it alone, but you're not right. I should leave it alone, but you're not right. And then the chorus was just, it's just one line, but it just repeats. It's, "I should live in salt for leaving you behind." Yeah, you think about something so much. You should know me better than that. Start to slide out of touch. You should know me better than that. Tell yourself it's only noise. You should know me better than that. Learn to appreciate the void. You should know me better than that. And then it's just, I should live in salt for leaving you behind, repeated till the end.
We're having a normal one.
Somebody in the chat said, I should live in salt for leaving you behind, put my head through a wall.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. We also feel a lot of things about this song in a Sabine context.
Sabine's about to have a rough few episodes. Just heads up, everybody. Sabine's about to be having a normal one.
She's having a rough time. Yeah. And then we move into our questions by our patrons. Is what Adana was experiencing side effects from Moreland's magic, or is it like something the island does to people? So,
yes.
So here's the thing about Luxtagallen. It's a lot. There's
an element of the island that does fuck with people.
Yeah.
Like a what's the word that I'm looking for? Not spiritual.
Psychological?
No. Esoteric? No. Okay, I've lost the word I'm looking for. The place has a certain level of presence of mind and like can fuck with people.
Yeah.
But also Adana was put through several decades of daily magical gaslighting, and it broke her brain, and now she's unstuck in time. Like,
it broke her brain along with her own kind of inherent divinatory abilities. Like Adana could always, like she said, she could always kind of predict the future a little bit and could always kind of put her brain down a timeline. And then she got really psychologically fucked up and traumatized, and it kind of fucked with the powers that she already had, and now she's kind of stuck in time.
Yeah, but I mean, like, her brain and her powers were broken when she got there, but Ramboing around a death island for 75 years doesn't do any wonders for somebody's mental state, believe it or not.
Yeah. Like I said, she hasn't like had an actual conversation with a person before Leo and Feast since she got to the island. Like it's the isolation, it's the gaslighting and the trauma, and it is the island itself, because it does fuck with people. Just because I think on like a spiritual psychic level, it does fuck with people to be in places that have been the site of mass death. Especially when
I can't go to battlefields or hospitals.
Yeah. Especially when there is already like a level of societal trauma, which we'll see in like a couple different characters. What we saw, like Talindra's posture go extremely stiff.
Yeah.
It's
somebody in the chat said awareness, like the island has a consciousness. The ghost hole sure does.
Yeah. The ghost hole sure does.
The level of consciousness.
A friend of ours has started referring to it as the ghost hole, and we can't stop calling it the ghost hole now.
I mean, I made a joke about it where I called it the ghost zone.
Yeah.
For the longest time, we just called it the Hellmouth, even though that wasn't what it was, and like we knew, that wasn't what it was, but it just seemed like the easiest way to describe it because we had not come up with the combination of words ghost hole.
And Asper, if you're watching this back, thank you for ghost hole.
But yeah, we just
animal.
But yeah, we just we called it the Hellmouth forever. Like, even though it's not a portal to hell. Like, it's not in any way related to like.
That's not even a concept that we've established exists in this universe.
Yeah. But that's just what we called it because we didn't really know what else to call it, and now we can call it the ghost hole.
Ghost hole. It's bad.
But yeah, the amount of consciousness and will that the island itself has is going to be left pretty amorphous and up for debate.
Yeah.
But the ghost hole for sure is alive and conscious and has an agenda.
Yep.
And we'll be seeing more of that.
Cover that.
Yeah.
More. Our next question from our patrons was, tell us about Kid Pope, besties.
He's having a rough time. I mean, Kid Pope is going to tell you about Kid Pope next week. Like, we get the big Sid backstory drop. Everything is revealed like in the upcoming episode.
Mm-hmm.
But
Kid Pope.
Yeah, as you can see, his job as Kid Pope is the demands of the position are
there's something.
Yeah, It is not like most high school kids when they get jobs. I worked at Taco Bell. Yeah, was that good? Was that good? Was that funny?
That was a good one. That was a good one. Did you have to ritually sacrifice anyone at Taco Bell? You have to tell
Just
us
my
legally.
dignity.
That's fair.
I ritually sacrificed my dignity every time I clocked in, but no, I did not have to kill anybody.
Sorry. Okay. All right. But yeah, Sid's having a hard time. We kind of already went over his backstory in like a previous episode, and this is our next question was talk about the clues leading up to that episode ending. So
Oh man, so should we start at the very beginning with that?
should we go chronologically?
I think we should back all the way up to the first clue we got, and the first clue we got was why we kept telling you guys to rewatch The Beacon Part 1. Because we've talked about how Sabine has a one-liner in Beacon Part 1 that like totally flies under the radar, but you can crack half the podcast with it, and that line was, "I taught you how to swing a knife, you little shit."
Yeah. Even before that, we talked about Sid's origins, about how he like appeared out of nowhere, and that he had been an orphan in Elneus, which like is where Sabine grew up, and is very similar to Sabine's backstory before she got adopted by her parents. She was a war orphan in Elneus who made a name for herself as a pickpocket and had a lot of talent, and then got recruited by her parents into Beacon. Like, the parallels to Sid's backstory were there from the moment Sid got mentioned, and from the moment that he was confirmed to be in the Beacon. Like, if you went back to look at Sid's first appearance after Matrimony and Magpies, when Sabine did her backstory drop, like, it was almost directly paralleled.
Yeah,
and then after that was I taught you how to swing a knife, you little shit. And the lamp shading that Sid and Sabine knew each other. And it was that, and like the way that Sabine talked about Sid in that episode was a way that no one talks about teenagers that they don't know personally.
Like, now if you'll excuse me, I have to go make sure he's not poisoning the punch bowl again. Like, yeah.
I have to make sure His Holiness isn't poisoning the punch bowl. Like,
yeah.
Like, Sabine was like following him around that entire party.
And remember, he went to pour something in the punch bowl, and she smacked his hand.
Yeah. The way that Sabine was relating.
No, they're siblings. Yeah, they're siblings.
That was peak. That was peak responsible older sister, shithead little brother.
Yeah.
That was peak. It was so good. Also, she like made a joke about he's just got the most punchable little face, doesn't he? Like that. Textbook.
Yeah, if you like go back and listen to how they interact with each other in the Beacon Part 1, it's like, oh yeah, like these people are siblings, which was done very purposefully.
Yeah. And then in Matrimony and Magpies, when we get the Sabine backstory drop, again, we get the backstory drop of like how she got recruited into Beacon and what happened with her parents. But we also get, she mentions having a lot of younger siblings, and
that the youngest, something worse than death had happened to him.
Yeah, she mentioned that she was trying to get the younger ones out of the house as it was burning down, and that Defiance had her youngest sibling, who was 50, which is the Elven equivalent of 10. This was 25 years ago, and Sid is the equivalent of 15, which means he's 75. So the age is matched up. And she talks about how she thought Defiance was taking her youngest sibling to safety. She specifically uses he, him pronouns for the youngest sibling, and she says something worse than death happened to him.
Which, yeah, Sid's not having fun now.
No. That was a big piece of foreshadowing. That
Gallows and Ghosts Part 2. Yeah, Gallows and Ghosts Part 2, when we meet Florian for the first time, he starts talking to Sabine and says, have you heard anything about and then Sabine claps a hand over his mouth.
And then Sabine cuts him off. And when they're on the balcony, Sabine is talking about Sid as she says, I've done everything I can for him and he keeps pushing me away. Which like, that's what we saw in the Beacon Part 1, was that Sabine was trying to kind of keep an eye on Sid. and
figure out what was going on.
Which,
like, this is delicious. Now, if you go back to Sabine's motivations, the first time we meet her in season 1, episode 5, why is she there? Why is she checking out the island?
Yep.
You know why. Now you know why.
You know why.
Like, it wasn't just like standard garden variety beacon interest in it. Like, oh yeah, there's some weird shit going on here. I want to check it out. Like, she was literally, at that point, Sabine had, I think, recently gotten back into the country. Like within the last 5 years. So Sabine was probably getting back around the time that Leo was leaving. Yeah, so she was there snooping around the island because she found out what had happened to her brother and wanted to see what she could do about it.
She was specifically the person that Soren got to help him investigate the island because she already had an interest in it because of what happened to her fucking kid brother. Like, it was this whole fucking thing. And like, we specifically get Sid covering up what the other priests were doing in that scene, and like, he and Sabine completely ignore each other in the
they spend the whole time acting like they don't know each other.
But then the first thing we see when they have a moment to talk in the Beacon Part 1 is Sid going, is Sabine going, "Are you going to try to kill me again, Sid?"
Yeah.
It's just
well, because like, that's the first time that they have the opportunity to have like kind of a private conversation, because like, I think they were both, you know, given the way that they grew up and like given all the experience that they have, you know, I think in that moment they were acutely aware of like, oh, there's an entire town of people whose motivations we don't know surrounding us. And like, if you're an effective spy, the best way to play that off is to not acknowledge that we know each other. Like,
and we also get in Gallows and Ghost Part 1, we get Fee says, "I didn't expect to meet one of your siblings tonight." And Sabine goes, "Well, you've met one."
Yeah, and then lies.
Like,
and then lies like a liar.
Yeah, she goes to say 2 and then stops herself.
Yeah.
It's delicious. We've been foreshadowing.
Yeah, this is one of those ones where like, if you were paying enough attention, like, you really could crack it. Like, it was way easier to crack than the Adana thing. Like, I feel like there were enough little clues like sprinkled throughout. We just didn't do a lot of clues with Adana because it wasn't horribly plot relevant at the time, and also we did not want to tip our hand. Like, the last thing we wanted to do with Adana was tip our hand,
and also there wasn't a good way to do any clues, so.
Because she's been on the island for 75 years, not talking to anybody.
Yep. But yeah, the Sid thing we have been foreshadowing since early season 1. It's we can talk about Sid.
But yeah, there were a lot of building blocks that went into that, and we were hoping some people would figure it out, and some people did. So yeah.
Somebody said readjust the mic a little bit.
It might be I can't unplug it though, because remember last time I did that, it turned off our